This is a third and fourth stimulus check update. The IRS said that Social Security recipients may receive their third stimulus check as early as this weekend, which is partially true. I've gotten a lot of comments from SSI, SSDI saying that they received their stimulus check on Friday. If you haven't received your third stimulus check yet, I'll give you the details and when you can expect to get it. There's a new update for the FEMA 9,000 reimbursement and how to get it. And with the fourth stimulus check, pressure is building up on President Biden. So far, there are 75 lawmakers on board with the fourth stimulus check. I'll give you the details there. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. If you appreciate these straight to the point updates, then hit the like button down below. So, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis bans all Florida businesses from requiring vaccination passports in an executive order. So what happened here is that in Florida, you had to have a vaccination passport in order to get into a certain businesses. So if you wanted to go to the grocery store, if you wanted to go to a restaurant or church, you would have to have a vaccine passport to show that you were vaccinated to get into the building. If you didn't have the vaccine passport, you couldn't get in. Let me know down in the comments below, is this a good idea or bad idea with the vaccine passports? Should more states ban it or should states include it? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. And another story I've been following, so prosecutors in Alabama garnished felons stimulus checks to pay inmate victims restitution. So what's happening here is prisoners are eligible for stimulus checks, and as I mentioned in other videos, that some states are starting to garnish them to pay restitution. So what happened here is each of these individuals still owes restitution, court fees, fines, and or fees. As a result, we have taken action to garnish these inmates' trust accounts to satisfy the monies owed to victims and court. Any monies owed to victims will be paid first before any other court fees are satisfied. So what's happening here is they're taking the inmates' stimulus checks and putting it towards the victims first, and then any money left over, then they pay court fees. Let me know down in the comments below, should prisoner stimulus checks be garnished and put towards victims and restitution, or should the inmates be able to use their stimulus checks however they want? Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. So far, Alabama is the only state doing that. Next, let's talk about stimulus checks. So Social Security, the IRS said that Social Security recipients will receive $1,400 checks by April 7th. That is the official payment date, but people are actually receiving them a little earlier. I'm going to give you some details on who's receiving them and when. But first, here is the latest IRS update saying that there was a total of around 130 million people who received the third stimulus check so far. So these paragraphs right here is just talking about what was sent already. I've gone into a lot of detail about that. I just want to point out the important things and save you some time here. So it's saying with the third batch, which is this upcoming week, which is April 7th, the week of April 7th, it's saying this batch includes more than 4 million payments with a total of more than $10 billion. And then this batch of payments contains 2 million direct deposit payments and then 2 million paper checks. They didn't mention anything about debit cards. So it's saying that starting Friday, a large set of payments will begin going to Social Security and other federal beneficiaries who didn't file a 2020 or 2019 tax return and didn't use the non-filers tool last year. These payments will go to Social Security Retirement, Survivor Disability, SSDI. It'll go to Social Security Income, Railroad Retirement Board beneficiaries, and so those are where all the stimulus checks are going. Official payment date is April 7th, but as I mentioned, people are already receiving it, and the Get My Payment tool should be working this weekend. So today's April 3rd. It may work today. If not today, then tomorrow, April 4th, and they'll have everything updated. So let's go into the comments really quick and see who has been getting their stimulus check so far. So Stephanie Ellison, SSDI was deposited, and I checked at 4:40 p.m. with IRS, and it will be deposited on the 7th. Still, I'm waiting before I do anything. So we have a pending deposit for the 7th. And Nina Irving says, I've got a date showing the 7th that it will be deposited. You can now check the Get My Payment tool. So I'm glad that Get My Payment tool is working for you. Just to be clear, it may not work for everybody. Jen Liu says, I just checked. My $1,400 will be deposited in the bank on April 7th. And Kathleen Martin says, I'm on Social Security and I finally had my money deposited on my NetSpend account around 2 p.m. today. So it looks like NetSpend and people on SSI, SSDI have the have the money pending deposit. I have a few other ones right here. Black Doll Princess said, I see one of my payments pending for April 3rd, but I have a son waiting for that. So looks like the dependent money isn't coming there. John Ward says, I'm on SSDI with direct deposit. Finally, Friday, April 2nd, I got a pending deposit for April 7th. And then Legend Man Demo said, I'm on Direct Express and my stimulus is pending finally. So it looks like Direct Express, net spend, and bank accounts for people on Social Security are starting to see that pending deposit show up. Today is Saturday the 3rd, but people have said it's happening as early as Friday. So this is great news. I'm glad that they're getting their stimulus checks. If you haven't gotten your stimulus check yet and no pending deposit, don't feel bad because you're probably getting a paper check. Which may take up to 2 weeks, unfortunately. But I just want to let you know that I'm here every day to give you the latest updates, and I'm spending hours a day doing research, trying to find out everything I can to let you know what's happening with your third stimulus check. Subscribe to the channel if you want more information on your third stimulus check, if you want to know the latest of what's happening with anything stimulus related, and I want to be there for you to let you know what's happening and hopefully ease your frustration and anxiety. Also, unfortunately, we don't know what's happening with stimulus checks for veterans. So no stimulus checks for veterans this weekend, and the IRS said it may not happen until mid-April, which I think is shameful. Our veterans who protected our country, risked their lives for our freedom, are at the very, very end of the line. It's bad enough that Social Security recipients are at the end of the line, but veterans at the back of the line, I think is disgraceful of how our government is treating them. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'll keep you updated on what's happening with veterans as soon as I find out. Next, let's talk about the FEMA reimbursement. So FEMA will pay families up to $9,000 to help with COVID-19 related funeral costs. Here's how to apply and who's eligible. So this is the official FEMA website. So if you go to FEMA, if you go to Google and just type in FEMA funeral assistance, it'll bring you to this site and it gives you all the information you need to know. Also, fraud alert here saying that we've received reports of scammers reaching out to people offering them to register for funeral assistance. FEMA would never do that, so it's horrible that they're taking advantage of vulnerable people like that, but FEMA would never reach out to you. The only way to apply is like this. So if we go to how to apply, the only way to apply is through a phone number, and they're not going to take applications until April 12th, so that is in about 9 days. And these are the hours of operation. So you just have to call this number. You could pause the screen if you want to write down this number, or go to the website and you have to call up in order to register. There's no online applications. Basically, what you would need is an official death certificate, funeral expenses documents, proof of funds received from other sources, among a few other things to be eligible for this. So definitely look into this if you want to take advantage of that FEMA $9,000 funeral reimbursement. Moving on, let's talk about the fourth stimulus check. So Biden is being pressed to include 4 stimulus checks in the new spending bill. So the infrastructure bill, which is the American Jobs Plan that was just released this past week on Wednesday, that was just talking about infrastructure. That was bridges, buildings, water, broadband, all that type of stuff to help out with the infrastructure. That was just part 1 of the plan. Now the second part of the plan is the American Family Plan, which is going to include more social programs. So it could have a 4th stimulus check, it could have Social Security monthly increase, $15,000 first-time home buyer credit, $10,000 student loan debt, or $50,000. So we're still waiting to hear what's in that. As soon as I find out, I'll let you know, but that could help out a lot of families. Basically what's happening so far with the 4th stimulus check is more than 75 lawmakers have gone on record calling for more cash for households, and the members of the House and Senate don't want to stop at a 4th round of stimulus checks. They're pushing for recurring aid payments. So back in January, I think it was around 50 lawmakers. Now it's up to 75 lawmakers, especially now that the new bill is coming out, or the new plan. And people are talking about recurring stimulus checks. So Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren are pushing for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks. So it doesn't seem like it's just going to be a 4th stimulus check. It could be a recurring stimulus check as well. As soon as I find out more information, I'll let you know. At this point, we just know that there is talk of a 4th stimulus check. We don't know if there is actually in the bill, and how that's going to go along with the Republicans. I'll keep you updated on that. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Marissa Heckerman asked, in 2019, we claimed our daughter as a dependent for our income tax. 2020, she filed her own income tax. Will she receive a stimulus check for filing her 2020 income tax? Thank you. God bless you and your family as always. God bless you as well. Thank you for commenting. So, regarding this question, it all depends on whether the IRS processed her 2020 tax return before sending out stimulus checks. So if she processed her tax return as soon as possible, and if the IRS processed it, then she might get her stimulus check, but she might not. I don't have a clear answer for you. It all depends on whether the IRS processed the tax return before sending out stimulus checks. There's kind of like an overlap there. Next question comes from Nicole Booker. Hey, my name is Nicole. Hi, Nicole. I've been trying to update my address and direct deposit info, but can't. Is there any way you could point me in the right direction, please? So at this time, I think it is too late with stimulus checks being sent out for you to provide the information for direct deposit. The reason why is because the majority of the stimulus checks have already been sent out. If they try to send you a direct deposit, so it's probably going to be sent to whatever address they have on file. And if that is an incorrect address, it may be forwarded to your new address. So if you did move since then, I recommend going through the post office and setting up a forwarding mail address, which you might have already done if you moved. This way, the new address, if anything is sent to the old address, it'll just be automatically forwarded to the new address. Next question comes from Michelle DeBard. Will the child tax credit payments be subject to garnishment as well? That's a good question. So referring to the monthly tax of where the monthly payment of where it's $250 a month or $300 a month, I'm not sure actually at this time if it's up for garnishment. If I find out any more details, I'll let you know on that. Chris Corson asks, WTF are the 26 batches at? You did not answer the question. Mail does not take that long. They never mail them. Yeah, I could totally understand your frustration. So this is referring to the stimulus checks that were mailed on March 26th. So we don't know when those checks are coming. I know I didn't answer the question of when the March 26th checks are being mailed out. At this time, it's in the post office's hands, and there's no way to speed it up, and there's almost no way to find out unless you get I forgot what it's called, a post office informed delivery, and then you could find out, you know, when any mail is coming your way. But besides that, unfortunately, there's no way of telling when those checks are going to come to your mailbox. That is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully cheer you up a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you one thing that you should do. When you want to do something, you have the power to do whatever you want. Unless, one thing, you believe in yourself. That's the only trick. So that's all I wanted to tell you for today. Bye. This is the Bella.
And if you've ever wanted to have your money work for you instead of you work for your money, I recommend clicking this video over here. It's how to invest as little as $1 into any stock you want. It could be Amazon, it could be Tesla. Doesn't matter how much the stock is, you can invest as little as $1. So click that video now. It's about fractional shares. It's on my channel called Why Cents, and I'll tell you all about it, of how to do it. So click that, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.